In our 34th lab programming session, we will be understanding a program to pass arrays as arguments to functions. So far, in our previous programs, we have seen how to pass integers, and also we have seen how to pass floating point values, and also we have seen how to pass pointers as arguments to a function. But so far we haven't discussed how to pass arrays as arguments to the function. So in this class, we will be discussing that concept by using this program, a very simple program. The objective of this program is to print the elements of an array and also to print the sum of all the elements in the array. So to do that, I have taken two function declarations. The first function is print array. The job done by this array is to print. The job done by this function is to print all the elements in the array, and it is going to return void. So it is not going to return anything. Just this function is going to just print all the elements in the array. And I have taken the second function. The job done by this function is sum array. Means it is going to sum all the elements in the array. So these are the two functions that I used in this program. And coming to the parameters, coming to the arguments of these functions. So this point is very important to understand. Let's focus more on this point, the arguments of these functions. So here I am passing int array. So I have used the array declaration. So it means that I am expecting an array to pass, so to be passed into this argument, so into this parameter. And the next one is size. So why we are passing the size, that we will understand later part of this program. So here the very important point is, in this function print array, I am expecting an array. So I have used this array declaration because I am expecting an array. And similarly, if you take the sum array function, in this, the first argument is declared as int star array, ARR, means I am expecting an address. So here I have declared it as a pointer, means I am expecting an address. So what is the difference? So are they both same? Yes, both of these declarations are same, because whenever, so are you expecting, so a small question for you. So whenever we are passing an array, whenever you are passing an array, so do you think that the memory allocation of that complete array will be passed through that array, through the name of that array? So once again, my question is, whenever we are passing an array, are you expecting that all the memory allocations allocated for that array will be passed through that function passing? No. We have discussed this point several times. Whenever we use the name of the array, we are using the starting address of an array, because name of an array means it is mnemonic. So this point is the point of confusion. So that is the reason why we are discussing the concept of mnemonic. So name of the array means it is address, the starting address of the complete array's memory allocation. So always remember this, and we are discussing this point several times because this is the point of confusion. Okay, so now coming to the parameters back, here the first one is also expecting an array and the second one is also expecting an array. Both of them are addresses, the starting address of the array. Okay, so now with these declarations, so if you have any doubts regarding this concept, please post your doubt in the comment section. And this video is a part of entire C programming course, and our channel is a dedicated channel for computer science and engineering. All the courses related to computer science and engineering will be available for free, and all our courses are full courses. The link to all the courses is provided in the description. Click on the link and get the access to all the courses. And please subscribe to our channel so that we will get encouraged to create more content like this. And please like this video and please share this video with your friends so that they will also get benefited. Now coming back to our program, the main part of this program, in this main part we are having an array declaration int of type integer, means the values in this array are of type integers, and we are having 3 elements in this array, and we are having another variable declaration which is total, and this total is used to store sum of all the elements in the array. Okay, and there is another declaration here. We are going to get the size of an array. Now we will understand these declarations by using this diagram. So whenever marks has been defined, we have declared the elements also in the assignment, 85, 90 and 78. These are the marks obtained by the student. Whenever this definition gets executed, the memory will be allocated like this. Okay, so the first memory allocation, the first address of this array allocation is 100. Means whenever we use marks, so whenever we use the name marks, what it is going to pass, what it is going to contain, it contains the starting address of the array, which is 100 in this case. So try to understand this point. Okay, so now the first four memory blocks is allocated for marks of 0, and the next 4 is for marks of 1. And these elements, so this is how the elements will get stored onto this memory, onto the memory. And coming to this part of the program, which is size, how we are going to get the size and why we need to get the size of an array. So this point is very important. Why we need to, so in the function definitions we are passing the size, it is an integer type. Why we need to pass the size of an array? Because if you don't pass the size of an array, we don't know how many times the loop has to iterate. So whenever we pass the name of the array, we are going to pass only the starting address, not the size of an array. So try to understand this. So we have to pass the size of an array. So the size of an array as a separate argument within the program, within the function call. So make this point a very important point to understand. So try to understand this point. As we have assigned the values directly within the definition and we haven't used this the size of these marks, so we are going to calculate the size of this array. So how we are going to calculate the size of this array is, how many elements are there? The size of array is 3. We have to calculate that. How we are going to calculate that is size of marks. We are going to use the size of operator, size of marks. So what is the size of marks? Size of marks is 12 bytes. So how many bytes has been allocated? So for marks, 12 bytes has been allocated divided by size of marks of 0. So what is the size of each element in the array? The size of each element in the array, to get that I am using this marks of 0. So with this we are going to get the value as 4. If you divide 12 by 4, how many memory allocations has been allocated? It is 3 blocks of memory has been allocated. So try to understand this. So with this, we are going to get the number of elements, size of an array, the number of elements in the array. So with this calculation. Now what is the value stored in size? It is 3. We have to pass this. Okay. Now the first function call has been made and we are passing marks and size. So what is the value stored in marks? The value stored in marks is 100 and the size is 3. Now immediately after calling this function, we are going to go into this function called function, and here it is expecting a pointer. So both of the declarations are same. So don't get confused. So if you are writing this as array and we are expecting here it as a pointer, both of them are same because the value of an array is an address. The value in the name of an array is an address. So what is the value that will get stored here? It is 100. And what is the value stored in size? It is 3. Okay. So now coming into this printf statement, it is very simple. This for loop is going to iterate from 0 to 3, means it is going to iterate for 3 times. So because why we are passing this 3 is, we should be able to know how many elements are there so that we can iterate those many number of times. So if you take randomly 100, it is not possible because the memory that you got allocated is only for 3 elements, not for 100 elements. We cannot take that random guess. Okay, so that is the reason why we need to pass the size of an array along with the parameters in the calling function. Okay, now every time we iterate, we are going to print the element stored in that particular address, ARR of I. So ARR of 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we are using the pointer arithmetics here. So we can use the pointer as the array also. So we have seen that in the pointer arithmetic concept. Okay. So now all the elements in the array will get printed, and in the second, so once this function has been completed, we are going to come back here and the next line of code will get executed. Here some array function will get called. Now what are the parameters? What are the arguments within this function? Again, it is going to pass the address of array, which is marks. So marks means it is the address, starting address of the array, and the size of the number of elements. Okay. So now once this has been called, here the address 100 will get stored, and in the size we are going to store 3. Now what we are going to do? Simple. It is very simple. Sum of all the elements in the array. We have seen multiple programs on this. Here initially I have taken int sum is equal to 0, and I have taken another variable I, and this for loop is going to iterate. This is the counter for loop, and this for loop is going to iterate for 3 times. Every time we are going to add. So here what we are going to do is sum is equal to 0 in the first iteration, array of 0. So ARR of 0 is going to have an element 85, and we are going to add it, and the new sum value is going to 85. In the second iteration, we are going to add 85 plus the next element ARR of 1, which is going to have 90. So in this way, we are going to sum up all the elements in the array. And in final statement, we are going to return the value of sum. So whatever be the sum of all the elements in the array, that value will be returned back. So the result of this function call is going to have some value. So that value will get stored in total, and in the printf statement, we are going to print the value stored in total. Okay. So this is how the elements, so we can pass arrays as the arguments to the function. So that's it for this video. In the next class, we will be discussing another very advanced concept, which is pointer to pointers. So very advanced concept. So stay tuned to this concept. So that's it for this video. See you in the next class.